how often do you feel an artist needs to create art to still be considered an artist? And you mentioned Daniel Day-Lewis. I think he's retired now. Like he retires, he comes back, retires, comes back. But I mean, if you, let's say, didn't lens anything for the next 2 years, would you still consider yourself a cinematographer? Do you feel like there is a certain time period, there's a certain amount of work? How do you feel about that?
Right. And that's going to take me back to your previous question.
Oh, sure,
I don't think anyone is anything anytime. I think we're always we're always transitioning through things, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something will define me more than I want to be defined by it. So if I spend a long time doing a specific thing, people will see me as that. But am I ever something? Are we ever anything that we can say this is what I am? That being said, if I didn't shoot anything until I don't know when I'm 80, and then I would come back to it. I guess the moment that I would come back, then I would be doing cinematography, and then I would be the cinematographer of that project. But I guess I don't see myself doing anything else. But I'm also not locked into things. I'm quite also because of my path of life. I think that anything can happen tomorrow, today. So I would love to keep doing this today. That's what I think. I'm and I have a very strong feeling about it, but I really don't know.
That's a great answer. And honestly, I think we should all have the right to change our minds on certain views at any time. We get new information every second. So that's a completely fair answer. I mean, I actually haven't heard anyone say that, and I think that's quite fair. We aren't anything. We commit acts, we do certain things, but am I an artist? I mean, no. I mean, I'm a Moj. You're Ariel.
Yes.
But at times we do things.
Right.
At times I direct, I edit, you lens. But I mean, are you that? It's something you're doing.
Yeah. But nowadays, people feel it seems that people feel very free to call themselves something very soon. And I blame film schools a lot for that, because I think people get many times, and I after the masters, I started this PhD, and I had to teach at the uni, right, for the undergrads in film. And that was an interesting experience to see these young people that just left school and now they're doing a film degree, but they're like 19, 20. And then they would go to set and they wouldn't want to pick up some trash on the floor or do something because I'm the director, or I'm not supposed to do that. And that blows my mind, because it's like, listen, like I think you should be doing that when you're 80. If there's trash on the floor, no one should be we are all on this together, or don't show up. In America, it's a bit different. You have the union and you have a different system, and there's a reason that they teach that system, different than here a little bit. Nonetheless, it's I see a lot of that happening today. People very quickly, and also I think it comes a little bit from a place of uncertainty, and that perhaps by doing that, they feel a bit more confident to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, like fake it till you make it a bit. It's like, okay, I need to, if I want to be it, I'm going to manifest it. But at the same time, words have meaning. So
they do.
I mean, I'll speak for myself. I can't speak for anyone else. But I mean, I wouldn't go somewhere and be like, oh, hey, I'm a writer. I've written things, but I feel like for me to say I'm a writer, I guess it depends, because I mean, it's similar to what you were saying about what can you offer? Could I offer the services of a feature film writer to a degree that I'd feel comfortable at? No, I feel like I can write things, but I mean, I think in terms of my ethos and how I offer my services, I have to be true to what can I actually offer comfortably and say, okay, what can I do to a acceptable level? Some people would like to then fake and then figure out on the go. But I feel like there is a certain level of responsibility you have to the other party to be like, hey, I'm at a certain level, so I'm not going to say certain things or offer certain things if I actually really can't do it. You can't fake the funk too much, especially if it's somebody else's livelihood, money, creative vision on the line as well. So, I mean, it's not easy making these things. So you want to give people the best opportunity, right?
It's true. It's a bit of part of it is a funny industry for sure. It works in a very random way. It's very subjective how people say, oh, who do you know? There's all that, but also it's not. If you know people, great, but then you have to show your talent. And then if you have nothing to show, or sometimes you have amazing body of work to show, you just don't know anyone and you can't get through the door, which everybody has stories like that, But I'm totally pro learning on the fly. I think you know
to a degree.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's not gonna but that's the thing. Like, for you to land something, it's very hard that if you never done anything like that, you're not gonna land on the next Sam Mendes film as the production designer, and the only thing you did was a school thing. It's not gonna happen because there's so many stages and filters and people who are gonna block you from that. But yeah, perhaps if you're doing a small project, put yourself forward and then make mistakes and learn it.
Yeah, I mean, and also part of that is, and there was something I want to come back to you for as well. Part of it is also tied to self-worth and like an ability to believe in yourself. Because there's some things where do I believe that I can't do something, or is this actually not possible? If someone says, oh yeah, I need someone to shoot with a red, and I say, oh yeah, I can shoot, but then I haven't got a red camera, I can't just pretend to have a red camera, you know what I mean? But if it's a case of, okay, if I just do the legwork, the homework beforehand, I could do it, but it's a scary proposition to have to do that work. It's a scary proposition to do this for the first time.
True.
That's that case where I'm like, okay, well, maybe take the shot. If it's possible, but it's just scary, then those are the opportunities where it's like, hey, either you do or you don't.
Right.
Because how can you then evolve if you just always do things where you're not scared? You have to be scared. You have to go and be like, oh, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I can learn how to do it. There are enough resources that I can find out, as opposed to when there's a tangible thing where you need to offer something, you haven't actually physically got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time you have to,